Hello, I'm Alex. Thank you very much for joining me today on what is my first ever vlog. I'm here today to talk about transitional sewing. I thought I'd show you some of the things I've been making recently with an eye to the changeover between or from summer going into autumn. But maybe I ought to tell you a little bit about me first. I have been sewing for around about 20 years. I live in Manchester with my husband and 3 children, well, teenagers really, and we've also got a couple of dogs, although I'm originally from London, but I love living here, apart from the rain. So when I started sewing 20 years ago, I had to sort of get by with trying to work things out myself, reading books and that sort of thing, obviously way before YouTube, way before indie patterns, and I spent many years trying to fathom out birder patterns because they were cheap as chips. You know, you buy the magazines, you get umpteen patterns for, £6. And I carried on like that for years. It wasn't really until I took a craftsy class on shirt making with Pam Howard, which I really recommend. She's amazing. And that taught me that things like collars and cuffs and zips and fly fronts, not that they're on shirts, are all not that difficult. They're just a series of steps. It's fine. And it really changed my sewing and made me become a lot more adventurous and opened up an awful lot more patterns for me. And of course, around that time, the indie patterns had started to come out, so we weren't stuck with the old-fashioned frumpy stuff. And my children got a little bit older. I wasn't so busy child wrangling, so I had a little bit more time to sew. Around about coming up to 18 months ago, I got an Instagram account. That pushed me out of my comfort zone because I really don't like having my photograph taken, and I thought I was still a beginner sewer, which actually sounds crazy now, but I kind of thought I had to know everything and be an expert before I could be public about my sewing. Joining Instagram made me realise that that's absolutely not the case. But it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that was good. It's definitely good to do that sometimes. So I thought it was time to push myself again, and here I am on YouTube. Perhaps a good place to start off with me talking about what I've been making recently is what I'm wearing. So this is a Deer and Doe Melio shirt. The original has got a rounded collar and I've squared it off just because I've made some like that already, so just wanted to change. I really like this shirt pattern because it has a concealed placket, which is fab if your buttonholes mess up. It's got a nice shape to it, and it also has a curve at the front and the back, so if you do want to tuck in and do the French tuck, it allows you to do that. The only other modification other than the collar I made to this one is I changed the cuff. I can't remember what that kind of cuff's called. Anyway, just because when it gets colder, I'll probably wear this underneath the jumper and then I can have the cuff sticking out, and I just quite like that detail. So that's obviously something I've been making recently. The other thing I made that I thought was quite a good transitional garment was a skirt. Now, oh, hold on. Before I talk about that, I will get the hang of this. The fabric. It's a viscose fabric from Lulu Designs. They are so delicious on Instagram. It's got a palm tree print. I don't know if you can see that. And I really like this fabric. In fact, so much so that they've got another one, same cream background but with elephants on, so I bought some of that, which I will make something out of, who knows what. It's really lovely fabric. The only thing sometimes with these viscose fabrics is when you are doing things like collars and plackets, it can be very slippery and it's a bit of a pain. What I did, which really worked very well, is I used spray starch. Now I don't use the stuff that comes in a can because I just don't like it. What I use is, I buy it from Lakeland. I use starch that you make up yourself, so it comes in a bag with powder, and you just add it to water and put it in a spray. But the advantage of that is that you can make it as heavy with starch or as light as you want. So it can either be absolutely stiff as a board or just a little bit, and I quite like that. But I find that's quite good. If you do that and then you iron it, then the fabric can become quite crisp, which makes it a little bit easier to, manhandle around the sort of tricky bits. But yeah, really love this fabric. Don't know what I'll make with that though. And then, yes, so the other thing that I made recently is a skirt, and it is called, I've got the pattern, hold on. It is by Named Pants, and it is the Palmu high-waisted pencil skirt. Da-da. So on their website it says that the paper pattern for it has been discontinued, so I'm assuming that's because it hasn't been massively popular, but I don't know why, because I really like it. Obviously this is a PDF. Now, yes, in theory it's a bog standard pencil skirt, but if you look at it, it's got, at the style lines, it doesn't have side seams, it has side panels, and it gives it a really nice shape. And then the other feature is that it has, obviously it's a high waist, but the other feature is that the belt comes through at the front and is secured with D-rings. I really like this pattern. I've not really seen it around very much. I don't know why. Maybe because it came out a few years ago and I just missed the boat. I'm late to the party. But I made it out of stretch denim that actually was leftovers from a pair of ginger jeans I'd made. And I think that if I was just making a normal pencil skirt, I don't think I'd have had enough of the denim. But because of the way the style lines are, because of the shapes at the side, I actually managed to get it out of a bit of extra denim. So that's always, good. 2 garments for the price of 1. I'll put some pictures in somewhere, don't know yet where, because I haven't worked out how to do it, but I'll put some pictures in of it. What I like about it as a skirt is, denim skirt is definitely an all-round, multi-weather garment. At the moment I've been wearing it with trainers and bare legs. Obviously when it gets to the winter it'll be tights and boots. In fact, even on a really, really hot day I'd wear a denim skirt. It's just the absolutely perfect thing for this time of year. But I really like the detail on it. I think the details are great, just elevates it a bit. I like things that are classic but with just a little bit of a twist or a slightly different detail. So yeah, that's something I've been making. It was dead easy to make. I mean, it says on here it's got 3 scissors, which I presume means that it's supposed to be more advanced. I don't know why. The only thing I didn't get right on it is that as it's high-waisted, it doesn't have a waistband, it just has a facing. Perfect. But I wasn't really paying attention and thought I knew better. And I made the facing piece into a waistband. I mean, I get away with it, it's fine. But if I make it again, which I think I will because I really like it, I would do it as a facing, because that is obviously how it was designed and my waistband doesn't look that great. So that's definitely the way ahead with that particular pattern. But yeah, really recommend it. Perfect all year round, garment. Happy days. The next thing I made is something that I planned while I was on holiday recently. I was trying to solve a bit of a problem, which is that I spend a lot of the winter in jeans because that's what I wear when I'm dog walking first thing. And then I get home and, who can be bothered to change? Certainly not me. It's really annoying. I end up spending the whole winter thinking, well, I've just been in my dog walking clothes and why am I bothering to make other things? So I was trying to work out a way that I could make something that I wear for dog walking that I can adapt when I get home. And I've hit on this. I think it's going to work. So the dog walking element is that I've made a pair of Avery leggings from Helen's Closet. It's the first time I've made them. They are dead easy to make. And I mean, actually, once you've cut it out, they take no time at all. and the instructions are fab. It comes in 2 variations. I made the high-waisted because that keeps the old tummy in. And yeah, I mean, they're leggings, but they are really, really comfy. Apparently they don't roll down, which I haven't really worn them much other than to just check fit. If they don't roll down, that would be great, because if you're someone like me who's got a bit of a tummy, leggings and tights do tend to roll and you're forever hoiking them, and life's too short to hoik. So Avery leggings, and then the top half I used the Deer and Doe Plantain pattern, which is a free pattern. Again, I hadn't made that before, and again it was dead easy. I made most of it on my overlocker. I'm lucky enough to have it's very temperamental, but I have got a cover stitch machine, so I used that as well. But actually, again, that was like, by the time it was cut out, no time at all to make. But what I did to make them super cozy and super fab is I made them out of bamboo jersey from Ray Stitch, and I've made them in black because that will go with everything. And if this concept works, then I will make them in some other colours. Now obviously bamboo jersey isn't cheap. It's £8 for half a metre. It took me 2 metres to make the 2, although there's a lot left. Probably about half a metre. But I really like the bamboo jersey, and I thought, I could go and just buy a pair of supermarket leggings. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've been using bamboo a lot recently because I've been making some knickers from bamboo. I didn't think I'd show you those. It seems a bit, we've only just met. But the bamboo is lovely. It really is lovely and soft. And okay, so that cost me £32 to make those 2, but I know I'm going to use them and wear them a lot. And I've definitely got a lot left over to make undies out of. So I thought, for me, I thought it was a bit of a treat. And they are certainly going to qualify as secret pyjamas, because although just a top and leggings, nothing special, I probably wouldn't go out of the house in it other than with a big coat on to walk the dogs. But I've made a dress, and the dress will go over the top. And this is, again, there will be a picture somewhere. This is the Aurora tunic and dress pattern from Wardrobe by Me. I've made it from this poly leopard print chiffon. It's obviously got quite a sort of boho styling. I bought the chiffon from Leon's Fabrics here in Manchester in Chiltern. They also have Barry's Fabrics in Birmingham. It's the same company. So yeah, my idea, come home from dog walk, take off coat, throw on dress. I know I'll do that because I won't want to be out and about in leggings and a form-fitting scoop neck top. So I think that's going to work. And then I can bung on a pair of boots, pair of trainers again if it's not too cold. Happy days. And then I thought, just while we're at this time of year and it's not quite so cold, that, and who doesn't, look, you can do that with chiffon. It's so good, isn't it? Just throw it around. I thought that also I would make something that I can wear underneath the dress if I just want to wear it without the leggings. So I took a vest pattern that I happen to already have. There are loads of vest patterns and lots of free ones. I used the Itch to Stitch Cartagena cami, and I just lengthened that, used a bit of jersey from my stash, and I wear that underneath it, bare legs for now, leggings for when it gets colder. I think it really works. In fact, I'm going to make a few more dresses of that type. I don't think I'm going to make the Wilder gown. I know lots of people love it. It's just got too many layers of ruffles for me. I'm not really a ruffly kind of person, I don't think. But yeah, so that's my transitional sewing for the last week or two. I've got loads and loads and loads of things. that I've got planned to make. And to be honest, if I've sat here and told you about them all, we'd be here till Christmas. So I'll save them up for next time. Hopefully you'll come and see me again next time. But before I head off, I thought I'd just show you my little experiment, my little plan I came up with again when I was on holiday. And that is, I saw a top that I really liked and it was made of tencel. So I thought, oh, I'm not buying that, I could make it. Tencel fabric tends to be, I found it for about £8-9 for half a metre. And I remembered that rainbow fabrics in Kilburn in London do Q-Pro, and my understanding is Q-Pro and Tencel are pretty much the same thing, they're just brand names. I might have got that wrong. But their Q-Pro is cheap as chips, but it doesn't come in the nicest colours. So I bought 2 metres of the Q-Pro in brown. Now what I love about it is, although it's drapey, it still has a nice bit of weight to it. And it has that nice luster. It's got sort of almost like a powdery feel to it. It's a bit like a sand washed silk without the price tag, and a bit thicker than silk. So I really like Tencel. So yeah, my plan is to dye it and see how it comes out. So I bought 2 metres of this in the brown. Now that's £4.99 a metre. I might have just said that. Who knows? And I bought, I don't know how much I bought here, maybe 4 metres of it in the green. Now the green one feels a bit thicker, but maybe that'll change when it's washed. It's still lovely. I don't know yet what colours. My understanding for the bit of web research I've done is that bog standard dye that you bung in the washing machine should work. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do the brown. I think I will dye, if I can find a nice colour, I think I'm going to do that. I'd like to do it in an aubergine kind of deep red purpley colour. And then the green, because I've got so much of it, I think I'll cut this in half and do 2 different lots, but I don't know what colours yet. I'll see what there is. So, off to do my little experiment. Actually, no, I'm off to look at dye colours. Do my little experiment, and then I'll pop back here on my next vlog and show you how I got on, and show you some of the other things that I've made, because I'm telling you, there's so much. I mean, I can think of 3 different coats, for example, that I've got planned. 3. Yeah, so, do you think I did okay? Well, if you did, do all the bell and the subscribe stuff. You know what to do, you don't need me to tell you that. I would really, really appreciate it. It's a bit nerve-wracking doing this. And now I've got to go and learn how to edit. So, yeah, who knows how long that will take. But I'll give it a try. If you want to find me on Instagram, I am Alex Judge Sews. I have got a blog, but it hasn't been updated for ages. And thank you very much. I will put links down below to everything I've mentioned. And if I've forgotten something, just let me know. Stick a comment on. I will be overjoyed to see it. Okay, thanks. Bye.